Hello, this is Old Crow Balthazar, and thank you for coming to my site, Balthazar Strategic Arcana. This is part 2 of the mod notes that MD Small sent to me for the mod Balkan Variations. And this is a pretty comprehensive mod to fix the whole kinds of things I brought up in the first video. So anyway, he just sent me the newest version notes, and we're going to go there and read them together. I'll read them, but you can screenshot them if you want. Notes on Russian mobilization in Balkan Variations mod. Recent playtesting has shown that in the current version of the game, 1.04, the Central Powers can obtain an unbeatable advantage by spending all their tech chits on turn 1 and launching an assault against Russia with the aim of cutting off supply lines to the Russian armies in Poland. This strategy works in part by capturing Russian mobilization points and thus disrupting the mobilization of their units that arrive after the game has begun. The devs have recognized this problem and have committed to fixing this in the next patch of the game. Meanwhile, I have come up with my own solutions for the Balkan Variations mod as follows. Now, I believe this all deals with Russia, but we're going to go on. This is my first read too. Excuse me. First, I've added some of the Russian mobilization script's alternate mobilization points, so that if the first point is captured or threatened by the Central Powers, the Russian units in question will mobilize at one of the alternate points. Second, I have written a new decision event for Russia that fires at the beginning of their second turn, August 22nd, 1914. If the Central Powers have captured Grodno or have 2 units within 1 hex of Bialystok or Lutsk, or within 2 hexes of Kovel or Rovno. This covers the 2 principal attack points which the Central Powers can use to threaten the rail lines into Poland. This DE decision gives the Russian option of having all the remaining armies mobilized at points further back from the line. This is a side note for me. We did earlier version. We went into 4 turns, and we had to fine tune this because the Germans just got right on the line, and I got that decision. I used it to redeploy some men and storm the Tartar gates quick. So we want this decision for the Russian player in case the Germans are hell bent to get to these trigger points that he has described. Third, to fix the glitch in the 1.0 version of the game, port 4 version of the game, whereby if the Central Powers captured Brest-Litovsk before September 15th, 1914, the decision offering the Russians the option of having 2 corps from the Caucasus mobilized at Brest-Litovsk instead does not fire, and the 2 corps never appear. Now, this decision will fire regardless of the status of Brest-Litovsk, and if it is captured, the 2 Caucasus corps can mobilize around Minsk instead. So here's another side note. During the Balkans, or the Montenegro Gambit Test 2 against Bavre, he got into Brest-Litovsk, and I never got those Caucasian corps, those 2, and they weren't going to be available to me later when Turkey got in the war. So that was pretty terrible. Fourth, I've also changed the mobilization location of the first Caucasian corps, which mobilizes as soon as the Ottoman Empire joins Entente. In the vanilla game, this corps mobilizes in Alexandropol, leaving Kars undefended if the Russians have decided to have the 2 initial Caucasian corps move to Brest-Litovsk. Now, this unit mobilizes on Kars, so the Ottomans cannot move into that NM hex as soon as they enter the war and without the Russians being able to defend it. I have seen that happen before, because I did it to somebody. And but when I played Entente, I usually move somebody into Kars. Now we don't have to, and that makes sense too. Yeah, they would have been raised right there. I was on the frontier. That's very good, Mike. For the players interested in digging into details, here is what has been changed in this mod regarding Russian mobilization. On August 12th, i.e. after the first Entente turn, if the Central Powers have crossed the borders into Russia and are within 3 hexes of Brest-Litovsk, the 10-strength Russian Guards Corps mobilizes at Brest-Litovsk. If not, it mobilizes as normal at Seydlitz, 2 hexes east of Warsaw. Yeah, and side note, Seydlitz is a key rail junction, and I think 1 hex southeast of it. If German units get there, it triggers Bulgarian mobilization. On August 22nd, at the start of the second Entente turn, the new division event fires if the Central Powers are within proximity of the Russian towns listed above. If the Entente player says yes, then, here we go. Here's the meat and potatoes. The 5th Army with von Pleve and 3 times 10 strength corps mobilized at Proskorov, first choice, or Rovno, second choice, rather than Koral. Very nice. General Samsonov will mobilize at Brest-Litovsk or Baranovichi rather than Warsaw. Good, won't be behind the pincher, because they wouldn't have been able to get there, because, this is a side note again, of course, they're mobilizing Mother Russia, and there's train tables, timetables, and they would have just been stopped by German cavalry, or they would have known. Telegraph lines go down, we ain't going to Warsaw. Next one, the 2nd Army with 110 strength corps will mobilize at Baranovichi, first choice, or Minsk, second choice, rather than Bialystok. Very nice, because Bialystok can go down one first turn, easy, because it's got a garrison there. After the second Entente turn, but before the 3rd CP turn, Central Powers turn on August 25th. The 4th Army with 1/10 strength corps will mobilize at Baranovichi or Minsk rather than Lublin. 10th Army with 1/10 strength corps will mobilize at Vilna or Minsk rather than Baranovichi. If the Entente player says no to this decision, the Russian mobilization continues as normal. Nevertheless, the following alternative mobilization points have been added for the following units. On August 22nd, if Bialystok and Brest-Litovsk have been captured by the CP, the 2nd Army will have 1 strength 10 corps will mobilize at Minsk. On August 25th, if Baranovichi has been captured by the CP, the 10th Army with 110 strength corps will mobilize at Minsk. On December 10, if Mittal has been captured, the 1st Army with 110 strength corps will mobilize at Riga or Smilton. And that's the end of the notes that I got from him just recently. So this is very good. So I just got version 2 in my hands, and we were successful in posting it on the server. So he joined in, and he's going to be playing the CP, and I'm going to be playing the Entente. I told him to do his worst, please. I played Entente a lot. I've got, I don't know how many hours in this, and all the SC games over the years, probably 3,000 or 4,000 hours easy. I think I went to Steam once, and I hardly ever go there, but I went to check. I think I have about 1,800 hours in SC World War One. So I was doing a lot during the pandemic, other than gardening and keep my wife from going insane and murdering me. Anyway, so we're going to be doing that. So with Fog of War, we want to get this out as soon as possible. Normally, some of the SC games that I'm working up right now, YouTube, we made agreements of punching out at least 24 to 30 turns. Well, that's like a month out. Now, with World at War, I can understand that, especially with long-term research and then even naval gambits that are developing. You can see patterns. And then between that and the comments, I'm not so much worried about this. And also Strategic Command World War One, it's more of a slow, methodical thing, and you can pretty much figure out what's going on, looking at the reports, what kind of research is going on. If you play this game for not as long as me, but even a few hundred hours, if you look at the reports. And, some people don't. With YouTube content, I've noticed that, like me, I'd like to take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes I'd walk away, be puzzled about something, go back, sit down, immerse myself. Then I'd have a honeydew and, have to go run. And I'd come back and finish the dang turn and then send it off to the server. Well, I can't do that with YouTube. My wall turns, it was taking Well, at the minimum 45 minutes, because I'll look at all the reports, and then I'll go back twice, and I'll look at supply. It's super critical, and especially if you're getting into Russia or something in that game. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep these within an hour. That might seem a little long to you guys, but that's the way I'm going to play it. And Mike told me that, yeah, he's of the same mind. He says, yeah, it'll take him a couple of hours. We both like to immerse ourselves in this. I mean, once I set some time to be able to do this, this is a beloved hobby. Well, that's the way I like to do it. But I do got to be mindful of some people might be binging late at night or don't have a lot of time in their busy day to watch a 2-hour video. As I go off the tangent, start discussing the particulars of Russian huckleberries or something. So anyway, that's it. So I'm thinking about a week after this goes up, and this is May 3rd. I might even put this up today. This in the first mod notes, and then I'll talk to Mike about that, see what he says. He'll have a kind of an advantage on me, but we already know, we both discussed, the one thing we discussed is he's got to do a Russia first, because a lot of these things we need to test out. And I'm going to try to do the best I can to defend myself like I did against Bavary in 2 Montenegro gambit tests we did. And so there you go. So thanks for your time, and I'll keep you posted, or I'll post something when we're going to go up. But I think it's going to be a week out before the first turn. Could be even less. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, thank you. Till next time.